One of the wonderful aspects of the Pesach Seder are the 4 cups of wine. And these are 4 cups that are consumed at different points in the evening. The first one for Kiddush, the second one after we've told and related the story of the Exodus, the third one over the benching, the grace after meals, and the 4th cup of wine, the Hallel. And obviously by that stage of the evening, everybody's feeling a little bit lightheaded and tired. What is the thinking behind the 4 cups of wine? And why wine? Why did the sages specifically choose that food or that drink? What is the reason behind it? And the answer is that it comes from this week's parsha. At the end of last week's parsha, Moshe was very disappointed. He had gone to Pharaoh. He had requested that the Israelites should be let free. And Pharaoh said, absolutely not. And in fact, I'm going to give them even more work to do. And Moshe returns to Hashem disappointed, disillusioned, and he said, since you sent me here, nothing's been going right. In fact, the situation has gotten worse. And at the beginning of this week's parsha, Parshat Vaeira, Hashem turns to Moshe and he says, now you will see my power, because I'm going to extract the Jewish people from the land of Egypt with signs and wonders and an outstretched arm and a mighty hand. And he uses 4 verbs, which are known as the 4 expressions of Geula, redemption. V'hotzeiti, I'm going to take them out. V'hitzalti, I'm going to save them. V'ge'alti, I'm going to redeem them. V'lakachti, and I'm going to take them to me as a nation. And it's because of these 4 phrases of redemption that we have 4 cups of wine. But the great commentator on the Talmud, the Mordechai, says, okay, we've got 4 phrases. But why 4 cups of wine? Why not 4 different types of bread or meat? Why specifically wine? And the Netziv, the Rosh Hashiva of Volozhin, explains so beautifully. And he says as follows. You don't go from being a persecuted slave with no rights and no dignity and no honor to becoming somebody who stands at Mount Sinai, listening to God's voice itself and receiving the Torah. This can't happen overnight. There has to be a slow process, la'at, la'at, a gradual process of building up. And therefore Hashem says to Moshe, I'm going to gradually take the Jewish people out of their situation of complete depravity until they reach a point where I'm going to take them to me as a nation. So first of all, v'hotzeiti, I'm going to take away that intense suffering, that intense burden. That will be removed after a number of plagues have gone by. Then they'll still be slaves. That will be the second stage. I will take that away. The third stage will be, well, they may not be slaves, but they're still under the authority of Pharaoh. I will remove that. Now they're out of the authority of Pharaoh, but now I'm going to lift them up even higher. And they're going to become a nation to me by me giving them the Torah. But this is a process that took more than a year to unfold, because it isn't something that happens overnight. And therefore, when the sages were looking for a food or a beverage that could best sum up and represent this process of change, they found wine. Because when one drinks wine, it slowly changes your expression, it slowly changes your mood, and you go from being perhaps down and depressed and somber to becoming delighted and happy. And therefore, by drinking these 4 cups of wine, and not drinking them immediately, by spreading them over the dinner, over the Seder, we get that sense of how the change occurred. That to begin with, we were slaves, and now we stood under Mount Sinai to receive the Torah. I wish you a Shabbat Shalom.